Hello. Okay, so we're recording, and again, if you did not know who I am, my name is Hillary Griffin, and I am an Emerald Leader with Global, and this is our show. Earlier, well, really over the course of the year, God has just been really putting things on my heart when it comes to my business. I want to talk to you about the part of having vision for your business. And it being something that whenever you have a vision for your business, and it should actually be a reflection of the vision that you have for your life. So whenever you first got started, you wrote down your why, or like somebody asked you, what's your why? The thing is, you decided to me or Morgan or whoever you joined with, and you decided to say yes because you already had something else that really wasn't even the why when it comes to like business why. Okay, so if you have some type of dream, if you have some type of vision, if you have some type of things that's like, I want more for my life, I want you to put one in the really quick, like one in the chat, okay? Because I firmly believe that we all have these things that are put down inside of our hearts, and we were given these things maybe when we were kids, okay? So maybe you dreamt of one day I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mom and like all the things, or I'm gonna use this gift or this talent to do this, this, and this. We have these things, we have these dreams, and I believe that the very best is a vehicle to get through life without restrictions. What I mean by that is that you can customize the business to fit your vision. So we talked last week somewhat about not losing you yourself, not becoming somebody different in the company and the business and stuff. It's great to be inspired by leadership. It's great to be encouraged by the things that you see posted and stuff like that. I urge you, it's so important to not all let them become somebody else to something, because what ends up happening is your dream can get buried under that as well. So the thing that actually pushed you to follow somebody long enough to make a decision, or application long enough to decide I'm going to step out and try this thing that I've never done before, or maybe you're trying this company after other companies before that didn't fit, like something in you that said I'm just going to go for it. That's maybe not something or that you've been asked. But the thing is that thing I don't want to ever see happen for anybody on my team or Morgan's team or anybody in the company is I never want someone to come into this all of a sudden feel like, oh, I have to become this because if I'm not this type of influencer or blogger or whatever, I'm not going to be successful. All things you have to go. What happens is, maybe you start posting different, talking different, you're taking pictures, wearing things different, maybe even like all that stuff. But what really ended up happening is you lost sight for your own mission and calling that's been placed on your life. And the thing is, what can happen is when we lose focus on the things that we are called to in life, because we have callings that have nothing to do with this business. The business is a resource that is put in your hand, and then you have the option to choose what role it plays in your life. So for me personally, I care more about the impact that I make on my team than I do about the check I get. But I know and I trust and I believe that my God is faithful, that He's going to bring vision in as I steward and I need them to understand who God created them to be. But my version of success I should not push that on my team because they all had a vision, they all had a calling on their life that was there before they joined. And so it's my job to help champion that, pull that out of them, pull that gold out of them, and push them into that thing. So for you guys, what I want you to think of, if you feel like I don't know what to post, I feel like you say, wait. No, hold on, pause. Is it breaking up for anybody else? Okay. Well, guess what, guys? Hold on, this is kind of funny on the recording, but recordings. Man, okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Hold on. our internet has been like weird all along, so now I'm like, get back to like real over here preaching. So, like, yeah. Oh man. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Sorry, y'all, just hang with me. Be thinking of your questions. Let me see. I'm only old lady. Y'all, I don't know. Okay, hold on. Is it because I'm talking fast? Is it changing at all? We good? Like, should I change one? Ah, man. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna blame it on all the newbies that caught on and didn't tell me before I hit record. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Let's see. It's still bad. Dang it. Okay. Let's switch gears. Morgan, I'm gonna let you jump into everything. Okay, just unmuted you. I'm gonna let you jump in. We'll see if it's still like funky at all. There we go. Okay.
I'm good?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. Because mine like always says unstable, so I don't know. What did you want me to say? Like preach a little and then we'll start?
Yes. Do some encouragement and then we'll start.
Sorry. I drove like on 2 wheels to get here on time, so my mind is just like all over the place. What should I say? Ultimately, we're in a time where there's craziness and there are people that are struggling and going through different things. I know all of us are, dealing with this in a certain way. I think a great, what was it? Courtney and Shay did a Zoom a couple nights ago. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. It should be on Courtney Boards, or just ask one of us for the link and we can just send it to you. But the overall gist of the Zoom was be the light. And we have the opportunity with this business is to be that light for people in this time, because it is a dark time. A lot of people are going through a lot, whether they're catching the sickness or they're trying to not, or they have family members struggling, or they lost their job, or they're laid off temporarily, or, whatever the case may be. Like, we are all struggling in our own way. I wasn't really I'm not really affected by it per se, but I had like a true anxiety attack the other night. Like, I'm just going to be honest, because it's okay. And I got over it. It is what it is. But so I'm dealing with it that way, of the anxiety part of that. So we're all dealing with it, but being that light for people and showing, whether it is the products of people wanting to get healthy. And this could be something, and not, disclaimer, none of our products can heal a virus. That's not what I'm saying. But this could be a wake-up call for people to take care of their health more, to build their immunity system, or their immune system, to focus on their overall health. And then the business side, a lot of people have maybe thought about doing what we do, and they're like, no, I don't need that. I'm comfortable at my job. And now their job is temporarily closed and they don't have that plan B. And we have, again, the ability to, yes, we're being affected right now because some people are wanting to save their money, not order products. That is understandable. But with residual income, we're still able to make money. And people now maybe could be thinking of, maybe I do need a plan B. Maybe I should have like a little side gig. Maybe I should try this out. Or in the meantime, I need something temporarily to pay my bills, because bills still need to be paid. And we have that way. So I think overall, whether you've been here for a while or you're brand new, it is a crazy time for everyone. And even us that have been here for a while, like, we've never dealt with anything like this, so like it's new to us as just much like as it is new for you. But just being that light, being positive, sharing just that hope for people right now, because I think that's what people mostly need right now, is hope that there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, because there is. So just keeping that on your mind and being that light for people. So yeah.
Okay, so I think this is gonna work. And maybe I know sometimes on other Zooms I've seen like when people who have like the janky connection at the time, it doesn't mess up a whole lot whenever they're not the main person up. So maybe that's gonna help us out to get through the question. So really quick to kind of like wrap up with what I was saying and tie it into what first question I'm gonna ask Morgan. Awesome. Okay. Um, is so the thing is like right now for me, like I was telling you guys, which I hope you heard part of it, the short sentence is when you have a mission and a calling on your life or a dream of some kind, or you have just maybe something, it's not some big grand thing, but it's just something you want for your life that you can say, this is success for me. So number one, you don't lose it when you get started, because we're going to teach you how to be yourself in the business. But then the flip side of that is you're also not going to lose sight of that in the midst of chaos. Okay, so that my hope was that I could share that with y'all, and then that would tie into talking about when Morgan first got started. Because when she got started, that's where you guys are at right now. You're in your first 90 days of this business, or maybe a little bit beyond that, but you definitely haven't been in a year yet. And so what she experienced in that amount of time, that's kind of like where we know you guys are at. So we want to meet you like where you're at right now and never forget some of the things that we went through in the beginning. So Morgan, so first, okay, so we were just talking about how it's crazy right now, and it's really easy because we know after years of self-development, right? After years of knowing what our focus needs to be, trusting this company because we've seen the God's faithfulness through the company, right? So we know how to stay motivated now. But when you first got started, and maybe you were getting no's then and people couldn't blame it on a virus, you know, like how did you stay motivated through just starting something new and being unsure about things, but like how did you say like, okay, I'm gonna keep pushing, I'm gonna keep going?
Okay. So with that, because when I first got started, I got no's. I get no's every single day. I have people that say no. Before the virus, it'll probably continue to happen after the virus. It's inevitable. People are going to say no. It's fine. It's the same thing as us walking in a mall, which we can't right now. But when you were able to walk into a mall and you pass by a store and don't walk in, essentially that's you saying, I'm not interested. Well, they don't shut their doors and go cry and say, no one wants what we have because Sally Sue walked by. No, who cares? You go find someone else. So, does it sting a little at first? Yeah, because you're like, come on, just like someone say yes for the love that all is holy. Come on, just someone buy something. So I get that too. I'm not insensitive to that, especially if you're starting to get your shopping spree. It's kind of like, please, just I need six, just six, just six, just six. But being motivated, I think it's really just a temporary feeling, because there's sometimes where I feel motivated to clean. All the time? No. Sometimes I feel motivated to do my laundry and put it up as soon as it's dry. Does that happen often? No. So motivation is going to come in and out. If you only work when you're motivated, you will not be successful in this. That's just, I'm telling you how it is. You're not going to. But you have to be disciplined enough, because discipline builds success. And you have to do the things that you need to do to be successful on the days that you feel like you don't want to do it. You just have to do it. You got to pick up your big girl panties and you got to do it. Drop a 1 or a 2 in the chat if you have ever had a 9 to 5 job or any job that you had to go to and you woke up one day and you're like, I really don't feel like going. But you knew if you didn't show up, your boss was going to be like, hey, you're fired. Come pick up your last check. Yeah, just drop any number. I don't even care. Yes, you do it. And it's not because you're actually disciplined. It's because you need a paycheck. Well, with this, I'm not your boss. I'm not going to fire you. But if you don't do the things that you need to do, you're not going to get the paycheck that you want. So I just always had that mindset of saying, am I motivated right now? Not really. Do I have a ton of stuff to do for school? Yeah. Do I have another job I have to go to? Yes. Do I have other things that I want to be doing? Yeah. But I had goals I wanted to meet. I wanted to get a new car. I had bills to pay. I wanted to be able to go shopping and not have to like really care how much I bought, you know? So I always just had the mindset of you got to do what you got to do. And you just do it. I really didn't even have time to think much and get in my feelings about it. And I know everyone's personality is different of, well, this like really bothers me and things like that. And that's okay. Like you're going to overcome that. I'm not saying like all of a sudden just like have this hard shell of like inferior, but you have to the point every no you come along is to a closer yes. And I love a no now just as much as I love a yes, because when people say no, they don't mean no. And I want you to get this in your head. No means not right now. It does not mean no. How many of you have gone to, I always use Chick-fil-A as an example, but it's funny because Hillary's like Chick-fil-A fam. But how many times have y'all gone to a fast food restaurant and they're like, do you want to upgrade to a large? And you're like, no, thank you. Do they just close down Chick-fil-A because you didn't want to upgrade to a large? No. That means not right now, because you might go to Chick-fil-A the next day, because I go multiple days in a row, no shame. And they might say, do you want to upgrade to a large? And you're like, throw it in. Sure. It's just a not right now. So do not get discouraged when people say no. It's okay. It's going to happen, because what you did is you planted that seed. And whenever they are ready to order and continuously follow up with them, one day they're going to be like, yeah, I'm ready to order. And if you don't follow up, the worst feeling ever is if you do not follow up with people and suddenly you remember them and you follow up and they're like, oh, I didn't know you were doing this anymore. I joined with so-and-so. That is the worst feeling ever. It has happened to me. And I'm like, dad gummit, like, where did I slip? That's why it's so crucial to keep track of your potentials. So really just having that mindset of just, it's really a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more yeses you're going to get. So if you're talking to 5 people a day, it's not going to cut it. You got to talk to more people than that. So again, just like growing your network, doing the things that you need to be doing will really help you by not getting so down when you get those no's. So yeah.
Okay, so that was good. And two, like just to add to that, so when you first started in that, like what did you have anything that you did to like help remind you to do the things? Like how did you start having like those habits of doing the things? Like when you weren't, you're like, okay, I'm like on this team, I don't really know anybody yet. Like I don't know what this is about. So what, like just like really quick, like what was the first thing that you did to start creating the habit of doing the things?
Yeah. I think I just constantly had to remind myself that every time I was on my phone, I needed to be doing something that was like income producing. So like when I got started, I was in school, I was working, I was in a sorority, my family was in another state, so I was trying to go home and visit them. I had a million things going on. And so I had to use my time wisely of every time, or most of the time. I mean, do I like Pinterest? Yes. But most of the time on my phone, I had to continuously tell myself, because now it's second nature, of do something that is income producing. And what does that mean? So when I'm walking to class, I'm following people. When I'm waiting for my teacher, which I'm not in school anymore, but when I was waiting for my professor to come in, I would send out a few messages. When I was walking to my next class, I would unfollow people that weren't following me back. Little things like that. When I was, waiting, I don't know, for the bus to come, I would, take a picture, and saying like, oh, I'm talking to like 3 people about joining my team. And it's a picture of like a bus, so little things like that, just getting in the habit of like, when you are on your phone, just do a little bit here and there, because again, like this business doesn't take up like 12 hours of your day. It's just doing those little things here and there. So like now, again, it's second nature to me. Every time I get on my phone, I do some work, and then I maybe scroll a little bit, and then I maybe look at some people's stories. But again, just getting in that habit of like, I need to do something that gives me results first, to kind of like reward myself of doing other things.
That's good. That's good stuff. Okay. I'm really excited about the next question, because I heard something on a Zoom just like a little bit ago, and what they said was, if we could take, so a lot of us, like, we can like look at our parents generation and we could say like they were like really hard workers, but they didn't have social media. And then we're growing up in this generation of everybody starting to understand social media is like where it's at. Obviously the world is going crazy right now, and the most successful businesses right now are people who are selling online. So we're in like the right spot, we're in a really sweet spot. But not all of us have the work ethic of that older generation, right? Like that's something that we have to kind of like train ourselves to get into and like learn. And so I really like this question because it says, what age divisions did you target? So did you think about that? Did you think I need to target a certain age, or did you know I'm trying to help people, trying to meet needs of whoever? Did you, what was your mindset on that with how you were like building your network, who you were reaching out to, all that kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm. I wish I had more of like a detailed answer for this. But I feel like, how would I say this? I didn't really go into it saying like, this is my target market. Like, this is like the people that I'm going to go for. Anyone that is driven and disciplined and willing to learn, I don't care who you are and where you come from. Like, I'm willing to help you, but you have to be, what did I just say? Determined, disciplined, and willing to learn. Y'all, my short-term memory is like shot. It was like gone at birth. So sorry. So I don't really care like where you come from, how old you are, what your background is, if you got kids, no kids, whatever. But I think the kind of content I post is generally like who I attract. Like I have a lot of college girls on my team. I have a couple moms, like, or young moms. So that's just who Brooke is actually in high school. She's my first high school girl. So yes, getting the high school girls. So I think it's just the kind of content you put out is who you're gonna gradually like attract to. You know, my content is probably not going to be attractive for like my mom to see. Like she sees stuff I post sometimes and she's like, what? And I'm like, it's cool, okay? Like, it's fine, okay? So I think it's just, again, being you, being authentic. Like, do not try to be anyone else because people can see that. And so I try to just be authentic and share, you know, my story and stuff. But how I do find people is through bloggers. And I always go that route because what we do essentially is kind of like what bloggers do. So I'll just like type in a name on Instagram, make sure they have like a good couple 100,000 followers, because you don't want one with like two less, because then you're going to be like following and unfollowing the same people. So you want it to be broad enough to where you're constantly like getting new people. But I do that because people that follow bloggers, or what bloggers do essentially, is they get a partnership, they share a product that they like, and people order through their link. Well, what do? We're partnered with a company, we share a product we love, and they order through our website. Basically the same thing. So I know people that follow bloggers are following them in the market to shop. I want people to come to my page to be inspired, to like what I share, stuff like that, but ultimately to shop or join my team. So yes, and we have residual income. They don't. So toot, not to toot our own horn, but I did. So that's again why I follow bloggers. So it's kind of just like the same type of people I follow them. They are kind of like college girls, young moms, or things like that. But I mean, you can really find anyone. Like you can go to like college sororities or college campuses, like if you're into finding college girls specifically, or like if you're on Facebook, you can do like mom pages, or if there's like some mom bloggers, like there's some mom bloggers that like I follow that are like sharing like mom stuff, like mom hacks and nursery stuff, or how to rally 3 kids at once and things like that. So I mean, the people you would be following from them are probably moms, because moms are going to be following them. Like I wouldn't necessarily get anything from them because I'm not a mom. So it's kind of just where you're getting your followers is ultimately who you're going to attract. So necessarily do I like go out for someone specific? No, but generally the bloggers that I follow and get the people from are just like around that age. So yeah.
Okay. I was like trying to like untap that and it wasn't unmuting. This one thing really quick too to add to that. So if you have something that you do order that you like, so I've told Lauren this before, like I'm not really huge on ordering stuff off like from bloggers or anything like that, but I find out about a brand and I will go look for that brand on Instagram. And so like there's a brand of planners that I really like and I go to their Instagram. Everybody who uses those planners, well, I already know you're an organized person. Like so that's kind of like that's a little like nerdy thing that I like. I like planners. So that might be something that I relate with, like with somebody else. So that's another way that you can do it is if there's a brand of something you like, people are shopping that brand already. So they're open to the idea of purchasing something online or possibly selling online. So I love that. Okay. So when you, okay, so I want you to answer this two ways. So how did you respond to no when maybe during your first week? And then how do you respond to no now? Like what did you learn in between and how do you respond to no's now?
Mm-hmm. So before first getting started, when people would say no, I would normally say, no problem, when is a better time to follow up with you? Because I want to get their name down on a date so I can follow up with them and have them order then. That was before I started doing host to post. So now I go into host to post and I say no problem. You know, would you like to be entered in our giveaway by posting on your story? That deal. So it's kind of like, because too, I've had people give me dates and then ghost me on that date. So you're going to hear different versions. Some people don't like doing that. Some people do. But especially now with host to post going on, I love using host to post because at least they're doing something for you if they're not ready to buy right now. And again, I've had so many people do a host to post. If you don't know what that is, you can ask your enroller or one of us. But they'll post on their story about the opportunity and then they'll come back and say, wait, so I want more info on this. And then they're interested in becoming a distributor instead. So that's really the only difference. Because I didn't do host to post before, I didn't really know about it. But now with that, I at least try to, my goal when I talk to someone is either to have them become a customer, a distributor, do a host to post, or order a sample. That's really their only option. So that's my goal, no matter what route they take. That's where I'm going to go with that.
So if they get sassy, because we all
Yeah.
know there are some people. So here's the thing, no matter what, I don't care what's happening in the world, there are sassy people in the world. Like everybody knows, like I hate to say the name, but a Karen, you know what I mean? Like the jokes about like people who are just, they're just sassy for whatever reason. It's just a personality. So you're always going to run across those people. And then right now, you guys, like a lot of people are going through some really hard stuff and they don't mean to, but they may vomit their emotions on you because it was just wrong time, wrong day, just not a great time. A lot of people are going through a lot. So when people get sassy, how do you handle that?
Like, kind of give me an example.
So there are like two routes that people normally fall in the sassy side, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So one is where they're going to tell you it's a pyramid scheme because they have zero education on like what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So they say this is a pyramid scheme and like I don't believe in that kind of stuff, like whatever. Okay. And then the other route is where people say like, well, I've tried it before or my friend did that and it didn't work. Normally it goes like one of those routes. It's people who are just completely closed off to the idea of anything that we do. And it's honestly, it's not our company. They're closed off to the industry. So they're closed off to Mary Kay. They're closed off to Arbonne. Like they're closed off to everybody. They don't like anybody that does like what we do. Okay. So there's those people. And then there's the other group of people who have maybe heard about our company, didn't hear great things because, I mean, it's just ups and downs, right? Like some people love Chick-fil-A, some people hate Chick-fil-A. That's like a real thing. So with people who haven't been happy with it or, so maybe they tried it before or so kind of like business product, you know what I mean? Because there's always
So Yeah. So ultimately, first, yeah, I mean, who could hate Chick-fil-A? Like, it's the Lord's chicken, people. Like, gifted from himself. Okay. Um, with the sassiness. So one, I don't want y'all to get scared, just to preface it. When people say you're doing a scam, you're doing a pyramid scheme, those products suck, da, 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 da. Like Hillary said, people are going to love and hate no matter what it is. Like, someone could put out the best product possible and someone's going to hate it. It's inevitable, okay? But one, I will show you facts on facts on facts on facts on facts on facts on how we're not a scheme. So come at me, okay? And so if you ever have issues with that, like, I will give you a full-blown list on how we are not. So what I love to do, because I don't get sassy back, because that's not right. We don't want to do that. But I love asking questions, because most people that talk like that have no idea what they're talking about. So if they say, oh, I don't support things like that, I say, why not? Like, I want to know why not. Because we're going to get deep down in there of like what's going on. If they're like, oh, I don't support pyramid schemes, no thanks, I'm like, great, me either. Would you like some more info? I don't support pyramid schemes. Or not a pyramid. Y'all can make more money than me. If you're on my team, you can make more money than me. Newsflash, you can. You can't do that in a pyramid scheme. Yes, period, done. Okay, defeats the whole purpose of a pyramid. If they're like, oh, my cousin Susie's grandpa's boyfriend's older sister's mom tried the products and they didn't work, I would say, oh, what products did she use? Then they'll tell me, what products did she use? Okay, so what was their weight loss goals? Because it could be too, someone gave her the wrong products for the wrong result that she wanted. You know, someone could be wanting to lose weight and someone says, oh, try our body wraps. Our body wraps don't help you lose weight. They don't. So of course, Susie Q is not going to lose weight and going to say that she hates our products because so-and-so didn't give her the right products. So I love just always asking those certain questions, because it's not like a sassy thing. Like, I genuinely like want to know. If it's about the company, you know, people can say like, oh, that's a scam. And I'm like, why do you think that? Because like, I genuinely want to know, because ultimately they're going to come back with saying something that is completely just like made up and irrelevant. So I just love asking questions back. I'm trying to think of one with like product. I don't know. Normally with product sassiness, I either get like, I don't support that, and then I ask why not, or they're like, no, they didn't work for me, and then I go into like, well, which ones did you use? That's really the only like sassiness that like, you know, I've gotten. So
And two, really quick, because a lot of times whenever you're going to get like your first 6 customers, or you're talking to like your first, like, you're still, because a lot of you guys are probably still in what we call your warm market. That's the market that existed before your business. Okay. So that's just whoever your current following is, your current friends list, friends, family, people like that, people at church, people from wherever. Okay. So a lot of times too, so you may have somebody say, oh, I tried that before, I tried this before, like we were just saying. Don't worry that you don't know how to answer those product questions yet, because that's why you have an upline, and that's why we have our team pages. I know, like on my team page, and I'm sure Morgan has it too, I have a whole list of every single product. So if there's at any time you can't get in touch with me, or you couldn't get in touch with Morgan, there is product information on the page. And then your website, the easiest thing to do is go look on your website and click solutions. And you can see, like, so if they're talking to you and you're like, okay, I need to like look for something really quick because I'm trying, like, because we want to train you, we will give you the answer, but you can also be super resourceful and go check it out, because it's going to help you learn as you go. So you can look at the solutions, and somebody was like, well, I wanted my skin to clear up, and somebody told me a cleanse detox would like help that. Well, we know a cleanse is good for your body overall, right? Drinking a cleanse. But maybe the drink should have been the collagen, because that would have been more pointed towards just the face. But guess what? Morgan and I did not come into the business knowing that answer. we have learned it from seeing a billion trillion story slides that say just the few little nuggets that you need to know about every product. Those are on our team pages. And then we check out, you know, the website as things come out, as things are launched. And as our friends and sideline sisters are getting results, we stop and we'll ask them like, oh, hey, what did you use to like get those results? Or what do you guys think? Like we, you know, we're in chats with different, you know, uplines, and we'll ask them, hey, what do you think about this? Some people don't like the reds. That's okay. They don't like the flavor of it. You know, some people don't like the celery. Morgan is obsessed with the celery, drinks it every day. You know, like some, and that's okay. You have distributors who don't love every single product, but you have us to learn from. So as someone's like, I don't, you know, well, I don't really like trust stuff like that, or I don't know, or whatever the reason about products, just don't freeze up and think, well, I don't know that question either. Don't think that. And you can even be honest with somebody and say like, you know what, let me find some more information about that for you, because I wonder if that was the right thing for that. That's like a good way to tell them like, hold on, I'm going to make sure, just so that like we're good here. Like, you know, if anything at all, you may be just giving them a better experience than they had before dealing with a person when it comes to the company. And so that like little bit could show somebody maybe a different view of it because you took the time to have that conversation. So, okay, let's see here. I believe, okay.
Also, really quick, touching on that,
Yeah.
about the product thing. So, also, too, don't feel like right when they respond that you have to immediately send another response back. Like, it's okay. Like, we'd rather you send us a screenshot and, like, wait for us to respond, because, like, me and Hillary, like, do try to get back to y'all as fast as we can. But it's better to just hold off and wait and let us give you a good response that can answer their questions, versus sending something and then they respond confused, and then you're like backtracking of like, oh wait, it's actually this, and then it gets crazy because the confused mind says no. And so we definitely don't want that to happen with people. So we will get back to you. And ultimately, like, my girls, y'all know, if I don't respond within like an hour or so, text me again, because I probably opened it and forgot, or I thought I pressed it and I didn't. Like, you can text me multiple times, because yeah, just do it. Exactly. So sending us screenshots, even like, no matter how long you've been in, don't feel like after your shopping spree, it's like, never send us a screenshot again, you should know everything back. No, like, continuously share stuff with us so we can help you, because I know sometimes things kind of get crazy and someone like completely throws you off, a question. So don't feel like you just have to like drop everything and like respond something.
Like, I still send screenshots. Like, I will send a screenshot to Morgan and be like, what do you think? Just because it's like, because here's the thing too. I don't know. Okay. I'm sure like none of us can get our hair done right now, but this is just like a little side note. I used to do hair, did hair for 10 years. And guess what? Me and a few other girls, we went to school together, like hair school together and everything. We had the same skill set. We knew the same exact things. We were taught the same way, but someone would choose to sit in my chair for a reason. And then other people would choose to sit in somebody else's chair for a reason. So here's how you adapt to that. And the beautiful thing of our business is that because you have a team and you have all these different like leaders to learn from, and you have someone like Morgan who maybe she talks in a way that's a little bit different to you or different than you, but when she sends you something to say, it might be the thing that helped that person decide to sit in your chair. Because when people join us, definitely like when people join my team, they don't get just me. They get me, they get my upline, they get Morgan, they get a lot of different people. So anyways, that's one thing about like, because I wrestled with this for a little while. It was like, I wanted to be the one like doing the thing. Like, I wanted that person to like hear it straight from me and the way that I talked about it. And I actually lost out on some potential customers and distributors because I wanted to word it my way and like all this stuff. and I actually didn't have enough knowledge about the business yet to just say, you know what, I'm going to trust what I'm being told to say right now. So that's just me saying that. Like, you know, listen to that little tip. Okay. So next question. Well, so we actually are kind of hitting on this right now because we're talking about sealing the deal. So if when in doubt, send a screenshot. Like, that's your best thing. But so I feel like that person, you probably got your question answered a little bit. So we're going to go a little deeper on that same topic. So how do you seal the deal with somebody when it's maybe after a couple follow-ups? What do your follow-ups look like? Do you engage with those people still on social media? Like, how do you build up that relationship so that by the time that maybe it finally is time for them, maybe they got paid and they have some extra cash, or, you know, it sounds like a better time for the business. What does sealing the deal at that point look like? And what happened on the in-between to get there?
Mm-hmm. So, I do a lot of follow-ups, and it's not like your typical like follow-up Friday type of like conversation script, but it is like I'm on people like constantly. And I think that's how you can seal a deal faster. So my kind of philosophy is, and don't feel like you're ever annoying people, because I feel sometimes like when I tell people this, so I follow up, they're like, you message them that much. Okay. People have a life and people aren't constantly thinking of me, you know? So they're not like, oh wait, I need to get back to Morgan. I need to get back to Morgan. Like they probably don't even know my name. So it's fine. So my philosophy is that if I'm talking to someone and the conversation is kind of going, and then all of a sudden like a day goes by, or like I'm messaging them in the morning and at nighttime they haven't even read the message yet, so like I mainly use Instagram, so at the bottom of the message it will say read. If they have not read it yet, I will copy, unsend, paste it in the message thing, and at the bottom I will @ their username, because something could have gone on with their notifications. They could have canceled out of them. But if you tag them in it, Instagram has to send them a notification whether they have them turned on or not, because technically they're tagged in it. When I heard this tip, game over. Like I would get so many people responding back to me because they were actually getting the message. So I do that to kind of get it going again. If I was talking to someone that morning and they or no, I said that backwards. If they have not read the message, unsend, resend with the tag. Yeah, sorry. If they have not read it, send it with the tag. If they have read it, they have seen it. So you don't need to resend it because they already saw it. What I do is I say, did my message go through? Question mark. That's all I say. Obviously, I know it went through because I know it says read. But it's an easier way of getting that conversation going, because I have a lot of people say, oh my gosh, yes, I saw, but then my kid like threw up and I had to fix that. And then, oh, my dog ran into mud, or I got busy with dinner, or I thought I responded, whatever the case may be. I love sending that message. It's a quick starter to get that message up. I count all of those as follow-ups because I'm getting that conversation going again without saying, hey, are you ready to order? Now, do I have those messages? Yes, but those are later on. We're not at that point yet. Let's say I was talking to someone, I did the unsend and resend with the tag, and I said, did my message go through? And they still read it. They have read both messages, and it is the next day. Like people that I've talked to today, they both did that next morning. I will just send them, hey, so-and-so. Just their name, like, hey, so-and-so, to get the conversation going again. If they open it, then I send later on, maybe the next day, I'll say, hey girl, I have one spot left for my discount. Do you want it? Short and simple to the point. That's all I said. I count all of those as follow-ups because it's a quick, just easy way sending them. So I'm constantly on top of my message. If they're still, and you can like do the unsend and resend with the tag on any of them at like any point that you need to. If they still don't respond at that point, then I just message them whenever I do my typical follow-ups. But that is how I seal a deal quicker. So like, I'll give y'all an example. real quick. So I was talking to this girl. Where is she? Oh, right there. So we were talking yesterday about joining my team, and she read my message. And so then later on, I said, "Did my message go through?" She read my message and didn't respond. So I said, "Hey, Kayla, today." Homegirl said, "Who is this?" And I was like, okay. I was like, whatever, it's fine. Half the people I talk to don't know who I am, so it's fine. I said, "Morgan, you filled out my influencer application yesterday." She goes, "Oh, yeah, sorry, how are you?" So we got to talking. And then I said, "Were you still interested in making extra money?" And she was talking about, her situation and stuff like that. So I sent her a message. She didn't respond. I said, "Did my message go through?" She didn't respond. But finally, when I said, "Hey, Kayla," then she was, thinking I was some stranger. But whatever, it's fine. She answered. That's the point. So that is kind of how I just keep those follow-ups doing. I do that for everyone. And it's just easy getting those in. And you can, if you don't want to say, "Hey, so-and-so," and you just want to get to the point of "Hey, do you want to get your order in?" I say that sometimes. "Hey, did you still want to try so-and-so? Hey, did you still want to get your order in? Hey, did you still want to get my 40% discount?" Just something short and simple to that point is before I ever send those other messages. And that's how I really find that. And I do that with DTs too. "Hey, did you still want to join my team? Hey, did you still want to make extra money? Hey, did you still want the half off deal?" And I changed the "hey" to other things, but you get the gist.
Yes. Okay. So, and on that, so here's the way that it all ties together is because when you're following up and you do all of that, then what ends up happening is maybe they say, "She checked in with me, okay?" And then I was like, "Well, I've thought about it, but I went and researched some stuff and I don't know what I think." Or, "I don't know if I have the extra time right now." And then that's when I know Morg has it. There's a list of what we call objections to it. And it's really, here's the word that I would say more is the doubts maybe that somebody has. Because they're either doubting the company, they're doubting themselves, or they're doubting the time that they have for it. And so what ends up happening is, okay, maybe you follow up, and then it goes back to the basics of the normal conversations that we always have, to ask questions, to do that kind of stuff, and to get to the root of maybe why it took so long. Allow them to say, "Hey, what questions did you have for me?" That kind of thing. So then they can ask, or they can just tell you "Well, I've thought about it and I just don't think I have time. I have all this going on." And then you can explain how you work it. Be very real. Send a voice memo in that time. Some other people, they'll record themselves talking on a short video really quick, and that person sees it and they're like, "Oh, wow, okay, you're a real human. You're not just trying to sell me. You're taking the time to talk to me about this." That says way more than, "Okay, thanks, bye," because they don't want to order or something. If you genuinely care about helping people with products or helping people with the business opportunity, people will be able to sense that, and they will have a conversation with you. And don't get discouraged if right now you feel like there's not a whole lot of conversations happening, because I promise you, Morgan and I have both been in those it feels like a drought out here, what's going on. So you guys can get to that point. Okay, last question that I have, and then it always takes a little bit for the family call to get started. So if y'all do have questions, we can hang out, I would say, for about 5 more minutes after this question, because they seriously do start just a little late every time. So you won't be missing anything. I'll make sure that we get off on time. But this last question is, what can I post to actually sell stuff? I know for me, a lot of times it looks like I kind of gear stuff towards a potential distributor. That's what a lot of my posting comes to. I shared something today where I tied in the products and what I love about our products, and then talked about how, so this is what I do. I talk about the coffee. I drink the coffee. I sell the coffee. Who wants to join me? I kind of filtered it all in, but I mentioned the products and details about that in my post today. And that was probably the first time that I've talked about products in a while in a post. But Morgan, they want to know, how do you talk about stuff where you can make sales?
Yes. So, I normally don't do it in like posts like on my feed just because I want to keep my feed like looking a certain way. If I do ever talk about a certain product in a post, it is normally about the coffee because I feel like you can make those like cuter and like kind of laid back than you could have like QVC type. But with the coffee, you can just like have a mug or like curled up on a couch, you know, those are easy. But I mainly focus all product things on my story and through messaging to be a product tester. That is how I normally always get my customers that way. And so I will use like the generic slides that we all kind of like filter out, like they're there for us to use. We all screenshot each other's and use them. It's okay. So I use those a lot in between. I also have gotten really consistent with sharing, making my coffee every single morning. Now I know if you're new, you're probably still waiting on your samples or you're waiting to get your shopping spree so you can order products. So that is okay. That's why those other slides are there as well. So like in the meantime of you getting product, you can use those slides. Yeah, like half of our mugs most of the time are like completely empty. But for stories, I love sharing on my story about a certain product. So once you get your shopping spree and you start using our products, find maybe one or two of those products that you absolutely love and show it every single day. And you're probably like, no, that's spammy. No, it's not. Because if you're going your network, you're going to have new people seeing it every single day. So if it's new to people every single day, it can't be spammy because it was probably the first time they saw it. Two, statistically, it takes about 7 times for people to see something before they actually buy it. How many times have you seen bloggers share about a certain product and you're like, nope, I don't need it. Nope, I don't need it. Nope, I don't need it. Okay, add to cart, buy it. You know, so it just takes time to see stuff. So don't feel like you're being like annoying, you know what I mean? If you share one product once and think like that's going to do it, it's not. You got to be doing it consistently because like I said, you're going to be growing your network. And so new people are going to be seeing your stuff. So find those few products. If it's hair, skin, and nails, show yourself every night before bed of like taking my hair, skin, and nails before bed. Y'all have a good night. And just like take a picture like of you just like holding the product in front of like your pillow. Like it can be that simple. Yes, we have the nice slides, you know, that we have like on the team page. Of course, use them, but people also want to know that like you're using the product. So that's why like I do making my coffee in the morning because people are going to see my hands. I don't show my face because I'm not trying to scare people, but they do see my hands making the coffee, so they know it's me. They see that I do my celery. I've been needing to do my reds. I'm probably going to do like an unboxing of my package because it's on the floor with the reds, the greens, and the celery. I'm like a ride or die for celery. So find those few things. If it's hydrate, if it's the collagen, if it's our skincare line, if it is the coffee, anything like that. Have those few products that you consistently share, because you'll hear from a lot of leaders too that yes, like one, like you're sharing things. You're not like a salesperson. You're not, no one is telling you to get on your stories and buy my so-and-so for this much at this price. And it, do not do that. You've never seen probably any one of us do that. Don't do that. That's weird. That's creepy. Please don't. Share it like you're a normal human being. Like I'm sure you take pictures of your Starbucks drink and share it. You know, you share where you're going to eat. Like it's really no different, honestly. So just think of it that way, that you're just sharing things with people and just like be consistently sharing that, because like I was saying, you'll hear from a lot of top leaders that the products that they sell the most are the ones that they can show that they're personally sharing. Now, do the other slides work? Yes. I almost like 97% always have someone swipe up and type cleanse, swipe up and type coffee, swipe up and type whatever from those generic pretty slides that I don't make because I don't make them. But so they do work. So don't feel like you have to be like completely authentic and like make up everything, because none of us are trying to be graphic designers. That's okay. But have a mixture of people actually knowing, because then you have more credibility, and that's a huge thing too, of people trusting you to order, that not only are you sharing the products, but they know that you're actually using them. Okay. So, okay. Sorry. Michelle's a graphic designer. Okay. I was like, none of us are graphic designers here. Michelle's like, skirt. Yes, I am. So go to her for everything. I'm dumb. Okay. Well, I'll be getting with you on making some story slides now that I know that, because I stay up way too late trying to be crafty. So, anyways, that's all I got. Just share everything. Share it all. Just share it all. You got to do all the things.
Love it. That's so funny. And I was just thinking of this too, just really quick, and then we need to go so you guys can jump on the family call because they always have good announcements, good stuff on there. So, the last thing is I was thinking, so number one, bloggers are on Instagram, they are lifestyle bloggers. Okay, lifestyle like influencers. Lifestyle. Okay, you're not a technical like a traditional blogger until you have a website and you're writing over specific topics. So what you guys see on Instagram is what they call just IG bloggers. They are lifestyle bloggers. So your lifestyle now includes one product, like one new product, right? But here's the fun thing about what we have is that you probably already were using something. You were just going to replace what you were using with one of our products. So if you have, a cleanser that you've always used, or maybe you used to get eyelashes all the time and now you're going to switch to the eyelash serum, or maybe you drank, Starbucks coffee, but you want to lose weight. So now you're drinking our coffee. All you're doing is pick one thing that you already use, that you already talk about, pick one product, one thing that you would go to Target for or whatever, and decide that's going to be my thing that I'm going to swap. And now I'm going to talk about this from here. And that's like a good way to just start with it. Start with something that you already use consistently and replace that thing that was there with this. Because Target and this other planner thing that I'm telling you, I'm a planner nerd, but Target, planner thing, like all these different websites, they did not care that the coronavirus or anything is going on right now. They still have filled up my email inbox with all the things. And do they think they're spamming me? No, they think they're giving me exactly what I want because I shop with them. So they're like, hey, here's the deals. Simple as that. Super easy. So yes. Okay, so we're gonna go jump on the family call now. Love you guys. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Be kind. Be light. Okay, bye.